I have a question for you. So you know how other leagues like OYSL have like OYSL All Stars, where they like basically take a group of kids from that league and then go compete.
Yeah.
Do you plan to do that?
Oh, we're definitely do that. We've talked about it. We've talked
You know
about
what?
that.
And before Nacho, my dad, which is the owner of Orange OYSL, he used to get the selección and take them to Guadalajara. And then that's something that I tried doing for a little bit, sending kids to play pro in Mexico. But I think we have everything here that the kid is. I think the player is a little bit chiquiado. I don't know how do you say that in English. Spoiled.
Yeah, baby.
When I've taken kids to play in Mexico, or I can probably take teams and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, they don't want to leave their comfort zone. Now, as for like All Stars, like how you say, that's a very good idea. But like who? I don't know if you guys remember when I brought the 3rd division from Cholos to Tijuana.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I ref that game.
That was
Okay.
So you were a bandera, right?
I was a bandera too.
Yeah. So I used to do that stuff, but it's just so time consuming that it was just the league was getting a little too big that I didn't have time to do all that stuff.
Definitely.
Now, with the league just kind of starting up again, I mean, we can do an all-star, but then it would just, who would we play? That would be the number one thing. And right now, Medina just gave me a good idea. Maybe we can do that all-star team and make it into like a club team or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just hard to see who would we play, and we can play other leagues and stuff like that. But
I feel like our players also play in other leagues.
Exactly.
So it's like
that's exactly what I was gonna say.
that same
Now
team
you
might be
got
on 3
the
different
same
teams.
players playing in different leagues around Orange County and stuff like that. So if you want to start doing that,
With the pandemic happening, I feel like you could be able to do that all-star team, but it's just having those coaches that would be like, yeah, let's go, let's get a game going. And that's where, I mean, even you as wanting to even coach these kids for a week and then prepare them to play against a team. But at the same time, it's
tough.
It's tough because you just don't know, like, because, kids have school, they have, high school's popping back up, depending on what level you want to bring up kids.
I think that's one thing where I feel I can help the player, but I just need to have the player come and reach out to me. It's hard for me to just kind of go to every player, hey, I can help you out. No, like it kind of gets a little weird. But if a player really wants to succeed, he's not scared to reach out for help. Like I was just talking to you in our little break. I was asking you what grade you're in, and I was telling you, hey, well, what's your next thing? Like, what do you want to do? Like, are you gonna play soccer? So that's one thing that's very important is if you get a scholarship, then just take it. But I think when you're around, like you're 11th grader, right, junior?
Yeah, 17.
Right now is where you should start focusing on, okay, well, if I'm gonna play college soccer, what do I want to major in? Like, what do I want to do? Like Santa Ana College is, I think, known for their criminal justice program, right? Golden West is known for other stuff like IBC, things like that. Each community college is known for something. So I think one thing that players, and I wish I did too, is what did I want to do, and then go to that college. Not just focus on this is the best team.
Sport.
No, because it should be school first.
Yeah,
at the end
that's
of the day.
what my parents been telling me, that soccer's only for time, like specific time. There's only a certain point where it ends. Like you can have an injury, like a ending season injury, but if you have like your studies, it's like you're all set. Definitely.
Yeah, I agree, and then that's one thing where I go back and forth talking to my father-in-law too. It's like, what's the hardest sport to play? I think football is the hardest sport to play because it's all about system. It's all about learning like the way the defense is. One thing I do notice is when these players are getting interviewed in college football, is these guys are majoring in like neuroscience and shit, and it's crazy. And at the end of the day, they put school first. I saw an interview of Florida State, the Seminoles, 2-3 years ago, with somebody was being interviewed, and his major was like neuroscience or something that he wanted to do And I'm like, that's I think that should be the main focus, not on the player. I think it should be on the parent that puts it on his son, because sometimes the parent goes like, they want her to be a professional soccer player, so it's like, you gotta be a professional, you gotta play 3 times, 4 times, and it ends up burning the kid. Like, the kid doesn't want to play anymore, they don't enjoy it. And I think at the end of the day, we should first focus in school, because like how you said, it takes one minor injury to mess it all up. And at the end of the day, you know, school's always going to be there, your degree's never going to go away. And if you're going to apply for a job and you have that 4-year degree, they're going to take you any day over someone that doesn't have that degree.
Yeah.
So that's one thing.
Hey guys, don't forget Medina, they won today. But
At a school you go to.
I currently attend Edison High School in Huntington Beach.
Okay, cool.
So,
they won a
How old
league
are you?
game, not a regular game, a league game. So.
right? A league
Kind of a
game.
big deal.
Yeah. It's a big deal.
How old are you, Medina?
Finally.
I am 17 years old, free,
Okay.
single, ready to mingle.
There you go. Hey, he's very quiet. He's one of our quietest refs and stuff like that. So it's good to see him get out of his comfort zone.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the referee aspect of it.
Yeah.
Boss, you are a boss.
I'm one of the guys.
You know,
Anybody that knows Ricky,
he is one of the
great
guys.
title.
Definitely is one of the
They did a
guys.
style for us.
Definitely.
So, I mean, you want to tell the story of each of us?
I mean, shit. Yours is gonna be freaking hard because it was like 10 years ago or
No,
something.
it's pretty easy.
It was so long.
Okay,
No.
so who? Because it's like your brother and
It was-
you. Who was the one that got? Because your mom's like, hey, Ricky, outside. Because I pick up the trash at our soccer league.
That
Because
was
I do everything.
Yeah.
I was picking up trash outside the Fitz Falcons.
And we were
And your
leaving.
mom
Yeah, it was me.
comes up.
Yeah,
Okay, that
it
was
was
you.
me.
Then I do remember them.
Yeah.
And she goes, hey, mijo, you know, ¿cómo estás? And just, you know, talking. I know your mom forever, and she's such a good person, by the way.
Thank you.
And she was just asking me questions, and she eventually said, I got my kid that's 12 years old or 13. And I think you were the first pretty much 12, 13-year-old referee that we've ever had. So when she
Started a
asked
trend,
me,
bro.
when she asked me
Because
to,
Kevin
you know,
and the other
kinda-
guy were a year older, and
Yes.
they had just started recently.
yes, they were older. You, like, I was just kind of skeptical. I was just like, fuck, he's 12, 13. I know how these people, you know, not these people, the fans get. And I don't know if you can take it, you know? And it was hard. I said yes, you know, did some training usually. Who's the one that trained? Was it me
It
or
was Alex. Remember Alex,
Alex?
the little redhead kid that was also a ref, younger, like 2 years
Oh
older
yeah,
than me.
Alex, yeah.
I started going where he was
Yeah.
getting kind of like his little training, and then your dad kind of just polished me, and then you kind of
Okay.
just took me under the rope and just told me, hey, like,
Right.
if I give you this game, like, just,
Yeah,
you know,
you go
you
and
go in.
and then that's one thing why you opened up a lot of work for the you know, for the younger kids, because one thing that I like is recruiting kids that have played soccer. Why? Because you guys kind of see
You know the
a
knowledge.
different side of,
Yeah.
of the aspect. So you can pretty much be the referee and soccer player. You kind of sometimes that instinct, and you know what's going to happen next. And then sometimes coaches don't want an older referee, because what is the first thing they say about an older ref? Es que no corre, he doesn't run.
Hey, even the young one, like,
Yeah.
you don't run.
No, but then that's when I go back, or you know, it can be my mom, my dad that helped me out too, and we go, okay, we'll send you a younger. He's a bit less experienced, but he's gonna try to be there 100% to the play, and try to, and that's where you kind of get, you know, the little mixture of everything. You got it's like any professional sports teams. You got your veterans, you got your mid-level players, and your rookies. And then that's one thing that we have at OYSL is we got our veterans, we got our mid-level players, which is I
And we
consider
got-
you,
Yeah, we got
and then we got
some,
our rookies. You know,
Yeah.
been reffing what for a year
Or
before the
yeah,
pandemic.
yeah,
Yeah, so that's what makes it even better because you got the rookies learning from the veterans and then the mid-level players and on what to do, what did he do right, or the ones that actually do want to like learn more are the ones that like kind of see what you're doing wrong and then they try to like fix it, you know, and eventually.
That's what helped me when I started. Esteban, after every game, sometimes he would just stay
Esteban's
on
a
his
referee.
games and just
Yeah.
watch me.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, you know, do this a little differently, do this a little differently. And then like you would send me with Ramon, hey, go do the big games, go help him out. And then he would see me and he's like, hey, you gotta put more character in it,
Yeah.
you know, you gotta put more energy.
Yep.
It's your charisma.
Yeah,
I think it's the charisma, how you carry yourself.
Yeah, how you carry yourself.
Carry yourself, and that's one thing I learned is being able to carry yourself. Man, I don't know if you've experienced this yet, but when I was 14 years old, I remember that's a whole year and a half of experience.
Yeah.
And you learned a lot. You definitely learned a lot, and you earned a lot of trust.
Yeah.
Trust me, Ricky can tell you where I was reffing guys that were older than me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was just based on my experience. Ricky would say, "No, he's got it."
Your brother.
Because I would beg him. I was like, "Hey, put me on these big games. Like I'm tired of reffing these little games, and I'm tired of it." And Ricky said, "All right, I'm gonna let you do it."
Yeah.
I remember reffing, and I got this game. And again, I was a player too.
Yeah.
I would ref a game, go to my next game to ref, and then continue end my game with just reffing. But Ricky has seen right outside where coaches have said, "Oh, I'm gonna wait for you outside," and I'm 15, 14 years old.
Yeah.
And it shakes you.
Yeah, it's a shock.
But it's also how you carry yourself after that.
And I remember a story, Spurgeon.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna say team or whatever name but that coach
Name drop.
after the game, he said, "You know what?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I immediately, just told you to calm down, whatever. And because at the end of the day, if he's telling you stuff or whatever, and then you go back and tell him shit, and you want to fight
you
him,
instigate him a little more.
it's hard to penalize the coach, you know. So with that being said, just do your report, and then we kind of just go from there. But yeah, I remember that.
And it's multiple, but
Yeah.
again, it's having that trust and just experience. Like Ricky just said, "Hey," and that's how you learn. I mean, Ricky has seen the best in me, the worst in me, and
Everything.
man, so it's
Yeah.
like over almost 15 years of experience. And one thing I can say is that you just never stop learning. The game changes every year, every time, and
Rules change.
the moment you feel that you've mastered being a referee is the moment everyone passes you and you stay behind.
Definitely.
Coming from you, Medina, I mean, you let us know a little bit about your experience.
Well,
How'd you start? How'd you recruit this young man?
It was my brother-in-law, which is my business partner,
Okay.
Richard. Everybody knows his dad at the
Medina!
soccer field. Just the way he yells, he screams his last name, and you can hear it from a mile away. So as soon as you hear that last name, Medina, you know it's his dad. So I think
I played for
so that's how my brother-in-law, Richard,
my first
knew your
team.
dad, and he just recruited him because Richard's the type too. It's like, hey, I see potential. Immediately, just goes that same day to talk to your parent, to your dad, and ask them, hey, is he interested? And surprisingly, yeah, he said, yeah, definitely. And I do remember when you started, you got that orange OYSL on the back, that jersey. It's like,
Hey, don't discredit that jersey.
I know.
No, it's just kind of I bet you felt like first day of school. When you got these new sneakers on, the new stuff. We try to make you feel good, fresh. You try to, because what does Deion Sanders say? You look good, play good.
Look good, play good.
Yeah. So
That's true.
That's one thing that we try to make our refs. You look good. That way you feel good. That you feel like you belong, and that we appreciate you, even though you haven't started. We want you to feel that from the beginning, And I think I've made it. Not just me. It's Richard, my mom, my dad, my sisters that are part of the league too. Is we don't exclude you guys. Like we make you guys feel like you guys could always text me and.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think I'm the one that told you, hey, bring me to your freaking podcast. And like,
Yeah,
I
that's
wanted to
true.
be here. I
Yeah.
wanted to be here.
Which I appreciate 100%.
Yeah.
You know?
Because I know how hard it is.
It's
How
definitely
hard it is. And that's why I thank you for having
Thank
all
you.
of us here.
Thank you guys for coming.
You know what's funny though? Like once you're a ref, that's really who you are. And I would see him at church.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
You know,
church.
Yeah.
Kids at the supermarket, at Costco. Hey, that's the ref, man.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
That's
You
true.
build. Yeah.
that's who you are. I'm no longer a
Definitely.
little.
I
I'm a
know.
ref.
You're a ref.
Hey, that's the ref. Not even, they don't say your name.
No.
El árbitro. Yo lo conozco.
And it's
Yeah,
like so
yeah,
cool.
It's cool.
It's when they see you outside the fields, they're like, oh, it's like you're a celebrity. Oh, that's
Oh, yeah.
That's true, that's true.
No, hey, you know, that's
I would
Everybody
go genius. I would
says
watch.
that.
I would like my senior year.
Yeah.
Kids that I would ref, they started playing at Godinez.
That's
I'd go
crazy.
watch their games.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's crazy. I went into their dad's. Their dad's like, "What are you doing here?" I'm
Like,
like,
go here, you know?
I go here, bro.
Go
Yeah.
That's funny.
That is true, though,
It's
but-
because it's true. I hear that all the time.
I mean, what's your experience been like, Medina? Like, what do you want from reffing? What is your? I mean, what has your experience been like? I know you took a year off. We've all took a year off.
Well, starting off, I just want to say that you build a lot of connections with one another. You guys, the coaches, the players, you get to know them, and it's definitely a good way to, how do you say it?
Make money at a young age.
Hey,
that's
no,
true.
That's true.
Hey,
When I was in high
I'll be
school,
real, yeah.
I was balling. I was the
I thought I was
baller.
balling.
I was the baller, bro. Hey, you make $100 a weekend? Your friends don't even work, bro. You're balling.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
You're balling. You get that lunch money.
Right, right. But sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
They got the new shoes, the Air Forces. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't have those, but
Yeah.
I got
Hey,
the. I had the bands.
I'll tell you this: if you make $150 or whatever, those are hard-earned $150 because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not easy to
It's
run
not
a race.
easy.
It's not easy. It's
Uh-huh.
not easy.
You
Heck
cherish
no.
it more.
Oh,
You-
heck yeah.
You
Yeah.
learn at a young, like I like that you started kind of like when I started because you learn at a young age how to budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want something now, like hey, you want to go buy some jeans, you want to go buy a T-shirt, go buy
Why
a
not?
T-shirt. You know,
Mhm. That's
you can,
true.
you can spoil yourself a little bit, but. I know I say it jokingly, but like when you're in high school, you're kind of like, oh, you're balling. Medina has money, but it's the same thing. It's like you kind of grow up a little quicker, you know, because you got to be a little more responsible.
Mature,
I'm pretty sure, like,
I learned to manage my money more.
yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna get to. Like, I'm pretty sure you don't make your money and like 3 hours later, hey, I'm gonna go to the mall. Nah.
That's
Because,
not.
like
no.
you said, you work hard for it. You value your money a lot more. You kind of grow up a
Yeah.
little quicker.
Definitely. Yeah.
Well, go ahead. I mean,
What else,
I
Medina?
know.
My thoughts about refereeing, honestly, it's like a good way to keep yourself busy, like active, exercising, you know.
You gotta be in shape, by the way. He's not kidding.
Yeah,
Go
you
ahead.
definitely running up the field and
Talking
after
about
like
the guy that runs the most. Huh?
yeah, like the third game you're already tired, but you gotta keep going. But it's like it is what it is.
So you want to go pro, is what I kind of heard through the grapevines. Is that true?
I wouldn't necessarily say pro because that's like a little out of my reach for now. But definitely when I get the experience and get the hang of it, I honestly want to go a high level. So like club, maybe high school, maybe college, and then eventually go to like I know Wences was still reps here, but definitely he reps like higher level, doesn't
Yeah.
he?
So do I. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Dude, you could definitely do high school.
You know,
Yeah.
high school is easy.
I would go watch the high school games just to critique the player. Just to.
But I'll tell you this.
I think the worst thing about the any ref is not being able to take criticism, even if it's constructive criticism.
Of
Like you
course.
gotta be able to, and I think that's one thing that I've noticed off of not even in college, in high school, they're like the strictest. Like you can't even say one thing.
Well, the
before you're
Eagles
like,
are.
"Outta here."
Yeah.
The Eagles are up here.
Oh man, and it's just like you gotta like if you're gonna ref, man, that's part of it. As long as they don't curse you out,
100%.
you can
Keep it
scream.
respectful.
You can scream or whatever, but I think once they start, telling you off or things like that, okay, then that's that's too much. But if they're screaming or whatever, and then that's one thing that the referees in high school is you can't even freaking say anything before
That's
they're
true.
kicking you out.
They're more chiqueado than the players.
And I'll tell you this again. You learn this from reffing at his, like even a league like his where you're gonna hear it from parents, because parents think, even coaches, they think they have so much authority over, and that we're just some person that's standing and running in the middle.
Yeah.
When in reality we have so much authority, and we, like Ricky has said, we make sure the game is flowing, you know, and he's always said he'll always have our back if there's ever an issue. But of course, as long as you're doing your job the right way and
correct.
you're not,
As long as you're not,
you know,
messing up. And
so I mean, there's been times where Ricky has had to check, like, hey, check what you're about to say to this ref, because there's been so many times where I've gone, you know, you get threats, you get this, and that,
and I can't help you out.
and he can't. But Ricky has told me, like, it's not worth it. Don't do this, don't do that, and Richard too, which is, you know, the other partner, that we've had incidents where, you know, we've had to step in and things and everything. It's tough, you know.
tough.
Yeah.
That's one thing that you're still young, and I feel like if you want to be a pro or you want to experience that, Ricky said, don't be afraid to take criticism, because I'll be the first one to tell you. You know, Rodrigo, that's had a couple, you know, 5 years, 6 years on him. Ricky himself can tell you, even though he doesn't like to ref.
I did it for maybe a year.
You know, it's
Hey, you mentored me. It's
hardest
you know.
job I've ever had in my life.
Mhm.
That's why my respects to every
Yeah.
single referee, man.
And I think
It's
people
so freaking hard.
people forget too that we're working, especially with kids. And I
Yeah.
feel like people forget that. Like, we have 22 kids running around.
Yeah.
Starting from 4 to, you know, up to, you know,
15,
adults,
16,
you know, 6-year-olds, and it's a tough thing to do. You know, parents can't even control, you know, their 2 kids or even 1, and we're out here,
With 20.
you know, look at how much, not like I don't, not the authority, but just how much presence we have to these kids. And we talked about, you know, these kids see us on the outside world from us reffing them and all that stuff, you know. So if you're gonna chase it, do it, dude. You know, I'll be more than happy. Like, we'll mentor. I mean, Ricky can mentor you. I can mentor you, because I've had that experience. I've been fortunate, because if it was never for him giving me an opportunity, it's true. It's true though. If I would have, because he said, yeah, I'm gonna do it. But I mean, who else would it be? I would have never been able to travel. I've traveled. I've reffed in Vegas. I've reffed in up north. I've reffed in San Diego. I've reffed Surf Cup. I've reffed USL, UPSL. I never did college because it's there's different routes. I've done development academy, and it's not sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know. But again, also what you know plays a big role. So never be afraid. You know, we mess around a lot about, I don't need to study because, you know, I don't need to pick up this, you know, the law book. Like, no. But at the same time, it's,
you got to.
when dedicate yourself for, you know, a couple months, and, you know, but it's not just knowing how to ref. It comes with the personality. It comes with all, you know, who you are as a person, how you present yourself. Because you can know the book and everything, and from like the back of your hand, but can you carry a huge game when you have, you know, pateadores against slammers, or pats against strikers, or, you know, these big, or, you know, for high school, when you have Santa Ana High School against Santa Ana Valley, or, you know, just big name schools. Can you carry yourself in
like
these
they don't
games?
like each other.
You know, exactly.
Those are the best games. Santa Ana versus Santa Ana games. Like any schools that live in Santa Ana, they play against each other. Those kids grew up playing each other.
When I played college, the hardest was I went to Santa Ana College. It was Fullerton. Like, they were already prepping us, man. It's like, hey, it's in Fullerton. We're chingadazos.
But that's how
they're already prepping
you have to mentally, as a referee, mentally prepare yourself.
Yeah.